He left to protect me. And it was the most painful thing anyone had ever done for me. I opened my bedroom door that night and Marcus was standing in the hallway, and the first thing I noticed was that he was holding his jacket. The kind of holding that means packed bag somewhere nearby. The kind of holding that means a decision has already been made. "You're leaving," I said. Not a question. "Lily. Don't." I hated how my voice cracked on that one syllable. "Don't explain it to me like I am not going to understand." He was quiet for a moment. Then he said, "He will follow through. You know he will. Your trust fund, your apartment, every door he has opened for you. And my career." A pause. "I am not going to let you lose those things because of me. That is my choice to make," I said. "Not yours. You are 22. And there it was. The thing I had been waiting for him to say. The thing that would have let me be angry instead of heartbroken. "So that is what this is," I said. "No," his voice was rough. "That is not what I mean, and you know it. I mean that you have your whole life ahead of you, and I am not going to be the reason it starts with everything taken from you." He reached out and for a moment his hand held my face, tilted it up toward his, and he looked at me in a way that I will never forget for as long as I live. Like I was something he was memorizing. "I have known you since you were 14 years old," he said quietly. "I watched you become who you are. And who you are is extraordinary. You deserve a life that is not defined by collateral damage from my choices." He let go. Stepped back. "Marcus," I said. But he was already walking down the hallway. I did not go after him. I stood in my doorway and I listened to the front door close, and then I went back into my room and I sat on my floor, back against the bed, and I let myself feel every bit of it. The next 3 weeks were the longest of my life. I moved into my new apartment in September as planned. I went back to my job. I saw Priya, who held my hand and did not say "I told you so," which is one of the many reasons she is my best friend. I went through the motions of a normal life and felt like I was doing it from behind glass. Daniel called twice. I answered once. He spoke carefully, warmly, like a man who had done a difficult but necessary thing and was waiting to be thanked for it. I told him I needed time. He said he understood. He did not understand. I threw myself into work. I designed things. I made coffee. I ran in the mornings until my legs ached because physical pain was at least something I could locate and name. Priya came over one Friday night with wine and the specific energy of someone who has information they have been sitting on. "I heard something," she said carefully, pouring 2 glasses. "Tell me." "Marcus is still in the city. He did not take another overseas post. He is consulting locally." I stared at my wine. "Also," she said, "the Briggs situation was resolved. Apparently Marcus handled it before he left the house. Briggs has been formally warned off by some people with very serious faces. You are safe. He handled it before he left," I repeated. "He made sure you were safe and then he removed himself so Daniel would have no reason to follow through on his threats." She looked at me. "Lily. He protected you in every direction." I thought about that for a long time after she left. I thought about a man who had every reason to be angry, who had been threatened and cornered, and who had responded by quietly making sure I was safe before he walked away. Who had put my security above his own feelings. Who had done the thing that cost him the most because he thought it was right. I thought about Daniel, who had called it love. Who had framed control as care for so long that I had spent years not knowing the difference. And I thought about myself. 22 years old. Independent. Capable. Sitting in my own apartment that I paid for with my own salary, because I had been working and saving and building something of my own for 2 years, quietly, beneath Daniel's radar. I did not need the trust fund. I did not need the connections. I needed to stop letting other people make my choices and then call it protection. I picked up my phone. I did not call Marcus. Not yet. First I called Daniel. He answered on the second ring, warm and expectant. "I need to tell you something," I said. "And I need you to listen without interrupting." A pause. "All right. I love you. I will always love you. You raised me and I am grateful for that every day. But I am not going to let you do this anymore. I am not going to let you use money and access and fear to make my decisions for me. Not about my career. Not about my life. And not about who I love." Silence. "I am not asking your permission," I said. "I am telling you, as the adult that I am, that this is changing. And if you cannot accept that, then that is something we will have to grieve together." More silence. Then, very quietly, "Lily. I will call you tomorrow," I said. I love you. I hung up. Then I sat for a moment in the quiet of my apartment, my hand steady, my heart loud but certain. And I pulled up Marcus's number. My thumb hovered over the call button. And then my apartment buzzer went off. Someone was downstairs. And when I pressed the intercom and said hello, the voice that came back through the static made my entire body go still.